Peace and welcome back. So tonight I wanted to do a video, little deeper video, which I've done a couple before, about life and the meaning of life, why we're here, what we're doing here. And I, to start off, I don't have any answers. I like speculating though, and maybe you'll like speculating with me. I'm sitting in my backyard, been on the road for a long time, so it is so beautiful to be home. Skål, cheers, fidelis og norsk. Skål. For those of you that are Norwegian, cheers. So, this is something I actually think quite a bit about. I used to be part of a religion that was pretty hardcore. I grew up in it. I actually went and did missionary work for this church in the early 80s, early mid 80s. And it was kind of cool that I got to do it because I got to go back to Norway, which is where I'm from, and kind of, relearn my language, get to meet all my family. But I've since come to decide many, many years ago, actually, that religion is not for me. And I'm not judging anybody that's into the religion or believes in the religion. Please don't take it that way. That's not how it's intended. I I consider myself a spiritual guy, but I don't. Let's see if I can lift this up a bit. Nope, I can't. But I do consider I consider myself a spiritual guy, not a religious guy. Um, and there's definitely a difference there. I mean, religion implies that you go to regular meetings every Sunday. You go to Sunday school and whatever meetings, and not every religion celebrates on Sunday either, so that can change as well. Um, and I just found, even when I was part of that religion and I was kind of deeply into it, that it just didn't feel right to me. And sorry, this will be a little bit slower paced video, which I know is not normal for TikTok, so if that's not your thing and it's too slow paced, whatever, no worries. You do you. But I just wanted to talk about this a little bit and kind of get feedback, hopefully some feedback from whoever watches this on what you think. So, since I left organized religion, I don't know, 25 years ago, something like that, um, I feel freer. I feel, I don't know, more in control of my life. I do not like rules being put on me. I've never been great at that. I mean, certain instances, certain places, we have to have rules for society. We have laws, we have speed limits, we have, you know, whatever amount you can drink and not drive anymore. I have no problem with that kind of stuff. But I'm not a big fan of somebody telling me, if you don't do this, if you don't participate in this ritual, you won't go to heaven. Whatever heaven means to you. Um, that does not sit well with me because my view of it is, I hope you can hear the fire crackling and hissing. It's pretty cool. I'm just gonna show you real quick. Got a pretty good fire going here in my backyard. And it is one of my favorite things. You want to talk about a spiritual experience? Some of my most spiritual experiences are sitting by a fire out in the wilderness with family and friends and really connecting. In fact, I'll tell a real quick story here. So we were camping at a friend's property up in the Utah mountains. It was probably 10, 12 years ago. And my oldest son, Braden, he's about to turn 30 here in a couple weeks. He was probably in his late teens, so around there. And we were sitting around the fire, and he was playing DJ. And being the good boy that I raised him to be, he loves the 70s and 80s and country and classic rock and 90s. He loves it all. So he was doing a really good job being DJ. But he put on a song, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard. It was a Simon Garfunkel song, Sounds of Silence, but it was the Disturbed version. and the whole campground went dead silent. I'm going to pause this for just a second. I'm going to throw some more wood on here. Anyway, the whole camp went dead silent. The only sound was the sound of disturbed singing and the crackling of the fire. And we were out under the stars, way out in the wilderness, so we could see all the stars. In fact, right now I'm looking at the moon. It's just a crescent moon. It's beautiful. And you could see all the stars. You could see the Milky Way. And that was a spiritual experience. It just went dead silent. And it was like connecting with nature, God, the universe, whatever it is that you find your solace in. For me, I look at the universe, I definitely believe there's something bigger than us. God, maybe. I mean, I still pray. It became a habit, you know, growing up in a religious home. Excuse me. So I pray. It's kind of a grateful, thankful prayer every night. I thank whatever the greater power is. In my mind, it's God. For my family, for my health, for my work, for my home, for my friends, for all the amazing things I have. And it helps me. I feel like I'm connecting with something bigger than me. And like I said, if you are part of a religion and that's what lifts your spirit, that's what gives you purpose, I am the last one to judge. I won't ever do that. As long as you don't hurt people with your religion, and condemn other people because they're not part of your religion, I can't go along with that. But if you're just a good person that believes in something different than me, we can be friends. No problem. I would never judge somebody for what they believe. In fact, the church that I used to belong to, I still have a lot of family and friends that are part of that church, and I respect it, and I have nothing but grace for it. It taught me a lot of good things. I hope you can see me. I know it's kind of firelight, but it's like my favorite thing to do is sit by the fire, and we do this quite often with friends. My wife was going to come out and sit with me tonight, but she's just not feeling real great. So this is the kind of stuff that really connects me to, I already said this, but as far as why we're here, what we're doing, what happens next, I don't know. But I do have my beliefs. I had one of my kids that for a long time was really scared of death. And I used to tell them, you know, it's one of two things. It's something really good after this life, assuming you live a good life, which is my belief, or there's nothing, in which case you won't know the difference anyway. We're just a memory in the people that we leave behind. Now, I believe the first thing. I believe there's something really good after this. I believe I'm going to see family and friends that I've lost again. Maybe that's cheesy. I don't know. Anybody that's watched any of my videos knows I'm a cheesy guy anyway. But I'm not going to drag this out too much longer. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. Agree, disagree. It's all good. I'm a big boy. I can take criticism. So I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. I hope you get what you want out of life. I hope you have family and friends around you, and that you just have a great life. That's what I hope for everybody. Peace, love, I mean it.